Okay, Open has just started, and Andrew Jack seems to be the first one out. Definitely want to take some notes here for my recap I'll be doing. Okay. God, this lighting is so fucking shit. Okay, Andrew Jack is out. I can't tell if it's the lighting or because I did pick up on the lighting just absolutely washing out the darker skinned competitors, and that's a shame. But I mean, the Olympia hardly ever gets their shit together. You can't. I mean, these individual routines. All right, Justin Shire is next. I'll be able to comment more on how Andrew looked after I see Justin. I want to see a lighter skin competitor too in this lighting. I want to see how it's affecting different skin tones. Yeah. Okay, so it's definitely washing out everybody. I'm gonna put up my predictions on the screen. Okay. Justin Shire. I mean, it's still what I thought it was going to be. Um, just not enough size, and if I can tell that in the individual routine, what does that tell you for when he actually stands next to someone like Andrew Jack? He does look to be in better condition though than the Chicago Pro. Again, can't tell a whole lot. About to go into a seizure with the way the lighting, the light show, because you know it's the Olympia, it's a bodybuilding show that can't be the main focus. Let's go ahead and do a light show instead. I guess is the fault of these guys, but he looks okay. Ross Flanagan is up next. Okay, yeah, Ross is shredded. It's just that his upper body doesn't match the lower body. Lower body's absolutely insane. It's quite incredible. Back to front, hamstrings, glutes, everything, and he can get in good condition. I just want to make sure he could repeat that. Yeah, definitely deep hams and glutes here. Back, um, maybe it's come up a little. He competed early enough in the year where he can actually capitalize on a good rebound period. Um, but you can't expect too many major muscle gains. Okay. And then here comes Hassan, and we'll know right away whether he's placing or not. He's not my top 10, and that's simply because he's only brought his B game a couple times last year. He's yet to bring his A game, and he can barely bring his A game. So, and that is in terms of condition. He has the size. He just needs to be in condition. Stomach looks a little thick. One leg looks to be downsized, maybe. But either way, the waist looks a little thicker to me just off the jump. Okay. What a great time for the live stream to buffer. I don't know how the Olympia continues to drop the ball year after year. With the whole stage production, it's not even like they're advertising anything. It's just straight up strobe lights. I don't know how hard it is to just have a dark background. It doesn't have to be black. It can be blue like the Arnold and still advertise a little bit. Like it doesn't have to be this way, but when you buy a ticket for the Olympia, you also get a ticket for the a Pink Floyd live show. Okay. Crizzo's out here. What I'm looking at for Crizzo, what we can tell at least in this individual round, um, is one, conditioning, but two, is he holding the poses like he needs to? The glutes appear to be in, shaking still a little bit. We can really tell in the back because he has a pretty bad time hitting these back poses a lot of the time. Okay, Christmas tree. Can't hit a back pose to save his life. He's way too scrunched up. Yeah. That was actually quite atrocious. Um, yeah, posing holds him back yet again. It's could be nerves. He could lock it in, once he gets to comparing, but he definitely needs to be more conscious of posing. But I like his condition here. I need to see a little bit more HD. Again, don't know why the Olympia can't do that, but I think Crizzo looks more than good enough to place in the top 10. And obviously probably a bit higher. Okay, who we got coming out next? Phil Klahar. I hate to be rude, but I had Phil Klahar dead last in my placings simply because of his stomach. Um, Dude's 50, and he just has some loose skin in some areas, and it's the stomach. The abs did not look good at the Masters Olympia. I come to find out he did deal with a nasty quad infection a couple days out of the show. Like there's a picture floating around on his Instagram. It was like double the size of his other quad that wasn't infected. Um, but it's the midsection that just derails everything. He has some good back poses, and when the midsection's not taken into account, he does pretty well on the side and those back poses. But in the front poses, I think it's just a lost cause, quite frankly. I'll go ahead and put a poll in the chat. Let's see here. Move, go ahead and move that. Let's do a poll. Okay, now Samson is coming out. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and put this poll in chat. Okay. Yeah, I think he's a bit sharper than the Arnold off first impression. See if I can grab a screenshot for you guys. It's not going to be that good of quality, simply because the Olympia, the Olympia live stream isn't that good of quality. We got to turn around, see the back. The Olympia live stream keeps buffering. I don't know if anybody else is having this problem, but my live stream has not gone like a full 5 minutes. And I highly doubt if I can stream in the same room, it's because of internet or whatever. Okay. But from what I can see, Samson does look to be in good condition, which is what he needed to do. That's the main thing he needed to do. He's got size, he's got shape. I would like to see more development in the back, more completeness for sure, but conditioning is something he can do now, basically. Okay, now Tonio's coming out. Tonio, what he needs to do is peak correctly. Because size, he's going to be outmatched, but if he can bring the roundness coupled with the good conditioning, it gives him the best chance of beating guys that are bigger than him. Okay. Phil saying these are the most detailed glutes. He's a darker competitor, so again, this lighting is absolutely terrible for him. But I do think he's in very good condition. I don't think you need to be any kind of genius to tell that. We saw in his updates that he was shredded. All right, Regan Grimes is out next. Regan Grimes did say he was 15 pounds lighter than he was in Italy. So I'm looking to see a more conditioned Regan Grimes. It's kind of like Tonio. He can't play the size game, but his structure does more for him than Tonio's structure. He just needs to be shredded. Okay. I definitely want to see him turn around. Not a big fan of his vacuum. He should always crunch down on his abs, even in the front double. Okay. Glutes and hams, Christmas tree. Definitely more conditioned than earlier in the European tour, I would say. Yeah, I'd definitely say more conditioned than what he was doing in Europe. But he's just going to get beat by guys with more size. I would still keep him around the eighth range. Okay, now Presti's coming out. He's a guy I have in my top 10 just because so many guys have dropped out. And Andrea, while he doesn't have the best legs, brings a pretty good upper body. And I thought the width up there and his good conditioning, he's been very consistent, would help him prevail over some guys that are off or maybe some guys that just aren't as structurally good. Okay, Andrea definitely does look to be in condition. I did expect that. He's a guy that usually never has trouble with conditioning. It's really just going to come down to what the judges like. I think Presti's done about as good as he's going to do in terms of his own peak and worrying about himself. All right, now here comes Derek. What I'm looking for is that upper chest and shoulder region. I want to see that diced. All right. Okay, Phil Heath says he's noticing some improvement in the quads. His waist looks a little thicker than last year. I think they're just trying to come in fuller, and there's probably just food in there. Um, I'm not noticing a huge amount of difference in terms of striations in the chest and shoulders. Overall, he's bigger. Yes, quads are more improved, which is a big factor in this. Um, let's see here. Okay, now let's see the back. Oh, yeah. Glutes and hams are still in. Great quad sweep from the rear. And without seeing the rest of the competitors, you can just tell that's the greatest back on stage. Nick Walker can get close, but of course he's not going to be on stage this week. Um, Still the best back in the world. I think his abs don't look as good as last year, surprisingly. I don't know. I think there's just something a little weird going on. Again, absolutely could be the shadows being cast with the camera. Right, now here comes Roman Fritz. I'm going to add some photos here for you guys. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and delete these ones. Don't need the updates because we can see it right here live. Okay. I was really just hoping for Roman he wouldn't look tired. This dude trains 2 times a day. Absolutely goes balls to the wall with everything in terms of bodybuilding that he does. Honestly, too hard. I think he should probably ease up a little bit on some things if he wants to bring better packages. Simple as that. Here comes Charles Griffin. Pec tear. uh, it definitely ruins a lot. Damn, don't know what's going on with that one. Okay. And just so you know, this is the quality of the Olympia live stream, by the way. I mean, this is what we're dealing with. Okay. Move that right there. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, now here comes Brandon Curry. Um, how much did the ulcers that he literally just got out of the hospital with affect him? Okay. Much better than last year. Last year, he tried playing the size game, and that just wasn't what he needed to do. Oh, yeah. This is very good condition for Brandon Curry. Very good condition. Let's see the glutes. He's turning around. Glutes are Brandon's never had the most in glutes. Just structure genetically, he is always going to be a bit watery and thicker skin in the glutes. But yeah, I think this is about as good as we've seen Brandon condition wise. Honestly, yeah, definitely a contender for sure. I We got to see him next to the others though. Okay, now they're bringing out Hunter Labrada, a name that's definitely not getting talked about a whole lot. I mean, I just think he lacks a little bit of everything else that these other guys have. Let's see. Hunter was in good condition. Everyone's a lot more conditioned than last year for sure. Okay, we over halfway, I believe, through all the competitors. Okay, Theo Laguerra. Definitely one of those guys that can move up in those back type of placings. Um, if he's absolutely shredded. Okay. I do think Andrew's a little off from where we've seen him. I'll throw up a pick, but I do think he's a little bit off. But this lighting is actually ridiculously bad. I thought it wasn't as bad as uh, maybe last year, but I think it may be worse. All right, final competitor. We're here. More than halfway done, I guess. All right. Hadi Chupin is coming out right now. That means he's the last competitor we have. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Okay. I would say he's a little bit more conditioned than last year. I think last year he was playing the size game to catch up to Big Ramy. Now he's looking a little bit more shredded, which is good. It's what I like to see, definitely. Definitely great confidence on stage. Gotta love Hadi's stage presence. Okay, yeah, let's see. He's turning around. Let's see the back. Back double's never been good for him. I, it's never been the greatest. He's drier in the back, which is a lot better. He's a lot better in the front in the rear lat spread. So let's see how that looks. Wide as ever, but a little bit drier. Yeah, you guys have Derek winning at 39%, narrowly over Hottie. Um, I would throw Samson and Brandon in the mix. Actually, I think Brandon looked really really good from what I saw. But yeah, these top four guys that I have in the pool, a lot of people's top four, all of them are on. All of them, all of them have a non-zero chance to win. Okay, that concludes the individual routines. Like I said, those top four guys, they each have a chance. Simple as that. I don't think any one of them is necessarily hugely in the lead. I think everyone was impressed with everyone at with the individual routines. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, Hassan is looking to not be a factor. Okay, so we have this first call out here. We have Phil, Crizzo, Hassan, Ross Flanagan, Justin Shire, and Andrew Jack. They're not exactly putting them in concrete placings yet. This is just the first grouping. Out of this group, I think Andrew still stands out to me. I do think maybe he was a little off. This lighting isn't doing anyone any favors, though. Ross and Justin are definitely um, undersized, especially Ross in the upper body. Okay, though they put those guys back in line. They saw what they needed to see. Okay, next call out: Samson, Tonio, Regan, Presti, Derek, Roman. Again, this is just a formality. This does not mean Samson is being compared amongst Regan and Tonio for an actual place. This is just simply in numerical order. Yeah. Samson looks very good too. Again, guys, don't count out Brandon. He hasn't come out for his for the first comparison, but I would not count Brandon out. Regan is definitely peeled. Good to see from Regan. I really do hope they go to smaller callouts though, because with this lighting washing out the sides, I definitely want to get an up close look. All right, final group: Charles Griffin, Brandon Curry, Hunter Labrada, Theo Laguerre, and Hadi Chupin. Let's see if I can throw up some picks here. Let's throw up that pick of Andrew Jacked. Like I said, I think Andrew was a little bit off, but maybe not. Because I saw a different angle and I don't know. I feel like I've seen him tighter in the midsection. Okay, I'll throw a picture of Hottie here. I think this was a bit better package than last year. I think so. Add some pictures of Hottie and Samson here. Stay with me, guys. Okay, so we have a top 6 call out. We've got Samson, Andrew Jacked, Derek Lunsford, Hadi Chupin, Brandon Curry, and Hunter Labrada. So those seem to be your top 6. Front double. Ah, man. I think Hadi looks really good right now. I think he's looking to repeat. Yeah, I think Hadi has just done too much for these guys to catch up. If anyone can catch up, I would say it'd be Derek. Okay, Now in the back, I want to see how well Hottie holds up. Um, Definitely Derek. I mean, it was never not going to be Derek's post, but Hottie, with him being a little sharper, he definitely is making a better case for himself. Crizzo, he is not in the first call out, so that means he is outside of the top six as of tonight. They may see him though in the second call out tonight and move him into the top six, and they swap somebody out. But as of right now, he is seventh or higher, seventh or lower, I guess I should say. Chris will look good though. I think he's definitely probably top eight. Yeah, yeah. Derek still doesn't have the striations or the in the chest and shoulders. And these guys are stepping the line. Steve keeps telling them to knock it off and step back, but definitely exciting. Okay, they're switching Andrew and Brandon. That means Brandon is now on the side. But now Samson is getting moved to the middle next to Hadi Chupin. Samson's not going to outcondition Hadi by any means. But this is where he needs to use his size to his advantage. Samson really needs to improve his arms. I don't think his arms are that good. Um, I honestly I think he loses the front double because of it. The side chest, although Samson has absolutely amazing, probably the best pecs in the world, I think Hadi just with the way shoulder to shoulder thickness is absolutely too much. Yeah, now Brandon and Hunter on the outside. I do anticipate Hunter just kind of being on the outside um, for the rest of the show. But they did move. They had Brandon in the closer to the middle at first. Samson does look to be in better condition this time around. He's got what looks to be some faint striations in the glutes, which for a guy like Samson who never has that good of striations in the glutes is pretty good. It's a telltale sign of the rest of the physique. Okay. Now most muscular. Samson's a bigger guy, but I still think it's Hottie. Hottie is just too thickly muscled. Okay, so that's the first call out done. They had they ended with Samson and Hottie in the middle. I don't know if that's how it'll end up because they did have Derek in the middle too, and they could just be giving everyone a chance. But Hottie didn't move from the middle. The other guys did. Hottie didn't. So at this point in time, I'd be voting on Hottie. Okay, and in this second call out, we've got Charles, Tonio, Hassan, Crizzo, Regan. Yeah, Hassan's stomach is just too big. It's just like you could be top eight if you just suck down. You don't have to fill up on carbs, but it's just he doesn't get the memo. Oh, I saw Chad Nichols was coaching him still, so I mean, yep, Crizzo is in the middle of this first call out for now. Honestly, I think my predictions are holding up quite well. Chriso's waist looked incredibly small in the in the front double. Man, Hassan looks so good from the side. It's just he absolutely botched this from the front, and I'd be interested to see his abs and thighs, see how much he can crunch down and get rid of that stomach. But I don't know. Yeah, I do think Tonio will kind of be placing behind Crizzo and Regan. Um, I think I think Regan has the enough poses to make an argument to overtake Crizzo, but we'll see how this goes. I do appreciate Crizzo getting the attention he deserves. I thought maybe they'd overlook him, but no, he's front and center, second call out, which is where he should be. I think his absent thighs looks a lot better. Yeah, and they only did one call out with those guys, so it does look to be Crizzo in seventh, um, Regan in eighth, maybe Tonio in eighth, but Crizzo does look to be like in seventh. Those two guys around him. Okay, now in the third call out, we have Presty, Theo, Roman, Justin, Ross, and Phil. Who does that leave out? Well, hold on. There was six, five, and then six here. Nope, that's everyone. Okay, they're switching. They're moving Justin Shire to the outside. They've got Presty in the middle. Presty and Roman. Which Presty beat Roman earlier at the M Pro Classic. I think Roman was fifth, and then Presty was runner up to Chriso. I think I think Presty will be top of this call out, um, which would place him at around 12th, um, if he can't beat anybody in the second call out. Which I didn't take a good look at anybody because they only did it once, but I think there's an argument for maybe Presty to get compared. Roman's midsection always looks just underdeveloped. Okay, they're switching. Okay, now they're switching Theo and Roman. So now it's between Presty and Theo out of this third call out. Yeah, because Theo did beat Roman multiple times this year. I believe two to three times. Let's uh, let's go back to another picture. Definitely a little concerned about Andrew Jack. Maybe a little soft. I think he got a little harder as the show went on though. Okay, now we have what is going to be like an official kind of second call out. So here's who they have. They're trying to figure out these back placings, right? We have Andrew, Hunter, Brandon, and Crizzo. Um, so they're probably trying to figure out, anywhere from 5th to 8th place. And yeah, immediately out of this group, I would go with Andrew. So, but they're moving Brandon in the center, where he should be probably. Yeah. Okay, side chest. This is going to be a tough shot. Um, I really need to see some HD photos. This lighting is god awful. Crizzo really needs to work on his back double, just the pose itself, not even necessarily the back, because he's doing this weird thing where this one arm is higher than the other, so it looks a little lopsided, but at the same time, he's pinching back. So he's a 6 foot tall guy and he has all this width. He's not showing it because of poor posing. Okay, so in this call out again, it's Hunter, Andrew, Brandon, and Crizzo, with Andrew and Brandon being in the middle. So Brandon is looking to hold on to a top 5 place here, but Andrew could definitely take it from him. Like I think Andrew, yep, they're switching those two guys again. They're gonna run it back. I would have Crizzo above Hunter though. I don't know if the judges will see that way because they absolutely beat off to Hunter in the Labrada name, but I like Crizzo more. I mean, he loses in the back pose, but I mean, is Hunter doing that much better? Not in my opinion. Crizzo definitely needs to bring up his legs too. It would look so much better because he has a thicker waist, and I just want to see that the overall taper just be absolutely exaggerated. So it does seem like the top three is still Samson, Derek, and Hottie. Um, top four will be either Andrew or Brandon. They're running through these guys. They're trying to see which one cracks first. And I think it's going the opposite way. I think Andrew's getting better. I think maybe Brandon's getting a little worse. But I mean, for Brandon to still place top four after the whole going to the hospital the night before, pretty impressive. I'm definitely glad he brought a more shredded version this time. He didn't need to play the size game. He just needs to bring a nice balance, um, as balanced as he can with those weaker legs. Okay, they put those guys back in line. All right, your top three: Samson, Derek, and Hottie. All right. Yeah, I think Brandon's out of the conversation now. Of course, they're giving us a side angle. Now we got a front angle. Front lat spread. Never been a fan of Derek's. I think Samson's midsection looks a little big. These guys are all very aggressive right now. So Derek's in the middle. Samson and Hottie on either side. Okay, Derek's back easily. Samson third. Yeah, I think Hottie second. Now we're getting an HD angle. Here we go. Very, very close. Oh, shit. Okay. They're switching Derek and Hottie. I would not put any stock in how they're moving them. When there's only three guys, I would almost guarantee they're going to give Samson the time of day in the center too. Yeah, I think this is close. I got to go with Hottie though. Yeah. Front poses, I like, even though Derek's V taper entire X frame is great. I like Hottie's overall polish. I really do. And I think he's doing enough in the back. It's going to be Derek's area, but yep. And now they're giving Samson center stage for a little bit. These guys are definitely having fun out there. Very, these guys are pushing the line, getting in each other's business, but it's good to see. I'll see if I can get some of these pictures up for you guys. Again, can't do cannot do video, but I can do pictures. Add this to my slideshow. Okay, those pictures are coming up. Okay, Samson dripping a little bit. Yeah, I would say this is hotties. Very narrowly, I would say. I think all these guys could get a one place vote, first place vote, but and that concludes prejudging. So I'll go ahead and throw up a couple pictures. I'll stay on for a couple more minutes. Um, Honestly, about what just about everyone expected. I would say, I would say. I would say your tentative results are looking like Hottie in first, Derek in second, Samson in third, and then in fourth you probably have Brandon or it's Brandon or Andrew. Coin toss. Honestly, I'd probably put Andrew. So we got some. In terms of the backs, I don't think anyone's going to argue that's Derek's. In that front double, even though Derek looks great and has such an exaggerated taper, I still really like Hottie. Let's get a side pose in there too. Okay. Out of this pose, you take a look at it. I think Derek has gotten really wide, perhaps too wide for his own good. Can that be possible? Maybe. Um, Overall, Samson is too narrow in the arms. I know. I know. Let's see. I wasn't even talking about that. Let's zoom in here on the side chest. Samson hitting it in a very classic way. Okay. Let's just compare three poses. We'll call it a day. Let's see here. In the front double, Samson, I still want to see him bring his arms up, and I think he has the worst conditioning from the front. Definitely. Hottie overall was more conditioned. Definitely like to see it. Honestly, with the condition and the hardness and the dryness, I like his arms better than Derek. Derek's arms are fuller, sure. I just prefer Hadi's arms. I prefer just about everything on Hadi besides the midsection. Even then, Hadi's not even bad. He's beating Samson. It's just Derek's teeny tiny waist in the vacuum. It just looks great. Overall, I got to give it to Hadi. I think from head to toe, he's the most complete and the most balanced. And the votes definitely shifted as this was going on. It was overwhelmingly Derek. I think he had like 50% at one point, but now it's Hadi by a few points. Okay, now in the back double. We don't need to talk about this too much. Samson's the weakest by default. Derek is the strongest by default. Hadi is somewhere in the middle. Good news is he is closer to Derek than he is to Samson. He's a bit drier and tighter in the back than last year, which is really all I needed to do. He was never the best in the rear double. He was always better in the rear lat spread. So really, when it comes to trying to beat Derek in this pose, you're not going to. You just got to limit his margin, or at least get close, basically. And Hadi doesn't get close, but his pose is respectable. Let's leave it at that. I'd like to see him maybe a bit harder in the glutes and hamstring, maybe. Same goes with Samson. Samson, the weakest back out of all of these guys. In the side chest, I think Samson isn't turning fully here. His side leg looks pretty good. Lighting is fucking awful. Holy shit. But you can start to see some good details here. Side leg, I think I got to give it to Derek. He has the great separation of Hadi with added glute striations. Upper body, though, it goes to Hadi. So much shoulder to shoulder thickness. Like, he just looks like a triangle going down into the waist from the side. And more detail as well. In the midsection, pec. I'd give this one to Hadi. So, just out of these three poses, you could begin to paint a picture. Samson is the least conditioned and the least complete so far. I have him firmly in third, and I have this as a battle for second, with Hadi slightly ahead. That's currently how I see it. I think it could still go either way by the end of the night, but by the end of the weekend tomorrow. It's a 2-day show, so look for someone like Samson. If I were Milos, I'd be like, we got to dry out. These guys came to play in the conditioning game. We just need to dry out. That's all we can do. For Hadi, I would say don't change a thing. Leave it how it is. Definitely. And then for Derek, I would still kind of say the same thing. Maybe get a bit fuller. I don't know. I think Hadi at the end of the day is the most complete guy on stage. The least amount of flaws. I'd like to see Derek's legs come up still a little bit more. But I mean, great package from everybody. If you guys are in chat, I'd love to know what you guys think. Definitely leave me a comment. Because I see this is pretty close with Hadi breaking that tie. Yeah, and Hadi's definitely starting to pull away from Derek in the pool. And honestly, you can take Brandon's 2% out. Unfortunately, I don't think he's just not going to make it into the top 3. He's not going to be lucky to make it into the top 4, but he had a call out between him, Andrew Jack, Crizzo, and Hunter, and he stayed in the middle, but I think Andrew got better. All right. Derek's legs from the front are throwing me off. Brett, is that in a good way or in a bad way? For me, I think he is so wide up top. They look a little small. And that's not because of the legs themselves are small. I mean, maybe they are, but it's more because his upper body is just so big. His right one just looks a bit odd to me. Let me get a better look. Right quad. I noticed that too. It just looks. It's like there's a little bit of a hump here, right? Right, right here. But at the same time, it looks a little bit more conditioned than the other one. Like you can start to see a little bit of striations. I don't. I mean, it's not like big ramen levels of fucked up, but sure. I noticed that a little bit too. I noticed more of the feathering, but then now that you look at it, yeah, there's a little bit of a little bubble there. I'll add some of these other poses really quick. Derek can definitely win. It would be on shape. And honestly, you have to think of what the precedent was that they set in 212. I found it very interesting that they gave the win to Keon Pearson, and I think that may be a sign of what's coming. Maybe. What I've been saying recently is as long as minimum requirements are met in muscularity and condition, as long as you're not waterlogged and as long as you're not giving up so much size, as long as you're okay in both departments and you have good enough shape, and you have great shape, you can win. What makes you think Derek should dry out a bit more? No, I don't think he should dry out a bit more. I don't know if I did say that. If I did say that, I didn't mean it. What I think he should probably do is probably maybe even fill up a bit more. I think the opposite. He probably shouldn't dry out. I think he's dry enough. He's honestly beating Hottie in the glutes and hams. So no, I definitely think Derek should stay the same. I would say a bit fuller. I think Hottie should stay the same. I wouldn't make a single change to him. And then Samson obviously just get drier. Samson is the one that should get drier. Maybe not Derek. I definitely could have switched those two names though. But anyway, oh no, you're good. But anyway, like I was saying, as long as you're not a water buffalo on stage, and you have enough size, I think the judges are willing to give wins to guys with better shape. Usually I say it's open. It should be judged a third equally. Like conditioning should be a third of the show. Shape should be a third of the components. And then size should be a third of the components. And usually then, that's probably how it goes. But now it seems that shape maybe leads the pack a little bit. Like I said, if you're good enough in the other two categories, they're fine as giving you the win as long as you don't give up too much. So I got some other poses here. And also, I say Samson should dry out more. It can definitely be the lighting. Like, the lighter skin guys are just enjoying this lighting a lot more. It's fucking dog shit. Okay, I got a couple more poses. Front lat. I've never enjoyed Derek's front lat. It's the lack of... I don't know. It's like we can't see his taper. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because his arms are so full, but we just can't see his taper. And then the lack of chest and shoulder striations is also like a big factor for me. I like how Hottie looks dense and complete head to toe. Samson's probably cutting the better outline, and you can probably give him this pose. I'd like to see his stomach just a little bit sunken in more. Honestly though, I'd still probably give him the pose. He has the thickness in the pecs and the shoulders, like Hottie, and a great outline. Great wheels too. Andrew should have given a chance with the stand in the last call out. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Actually, no, I think it was pretty clear he's not in the top 3. But at the end of the day, I didn't see those guys side by side, so maybe you're right. Arms and lats so big they cancel each other out. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Don't really like Derek's legs flow that much from the front, much better from the back. I agree. I don't know what it is. I think it's just... I don't know what it is. Okay, now the other pose we didn't discuss, the rear lat spread. Hottie's the widest. Derek has enough width and thickness that I'd probably give it to him. Yeah, actually. Especially when you couple in the lower body, because Derek's glutes are just much more striated, and then his hamstrings are a little bit more dug out than Hottie. Hottie has more width, but I like to see width coupled with a little bit of thickness. If width is your end-all be-all, then you definitely have Hottie in first. And I think Samson... Well, the jury's a little bit out on that. We can't see his fucking hamstrings. We can't see his back. So, I mean, he's wide. That's about all we can see. Yeah, in the poll results, too, Hottie's definitely pulling away from Derek. Let's see. How many poses did I leave out? Might as well just add the other 2, and we'll call it a night. Oh, other 3. Okay, it looks like I didn't catch the abs and thighs. Who do I have winning? I have Hottie winning. I think I can see a scenario where all 3 of these guys get a first place vote. But I think Hottie wins. Actually, I say we just do a little bit of a comparison round to end this video off anyway. Let's see here. Samson, Hadi, Derek. Rear lat spread is like Kai versus Phil. Derek has that 3D effect, but Hadi has the width. Yeah, exactly. And really, width is the most important thing. I like a little bit of both. What about between Derek and Samson? I see it as Derek in second, actually. I think Derek is closer to Hadi than he's closer to Samson. It's just like Milos likes to bitch about people bitching about how he should bring in Samson. He they Samson is notorious for not being that dry or conditioned, and all these guys are telling Milos, bring him in shredded, bring him in shredded. He has so much size, you don't need to worry about that. Bring him in shredded. And then Milos likes to say, well, I don't want to lose that size chasing condition, which is a fair point. Don't get me wrong. You don't have to worry about that with Samson. Samson is always going to be big and full. He is almost 300 pounds on the stage, I guarantee you. You know, he's just one of those guys that you would have to, like, his breakfast, he was talking about on the Real Bodybuilding podcast, he was talking about his breakfast was 3 eggs. Like, it's just like, come on, I say just push him, see what happens. Like, you're already not winning the Olympia. I say push him even harder. I get Milos' concern, but you've tried bringing him in full. Let's try something else. Okay. Okay, let's see here. We got a side try. Again, I didn't grab the abs and thighs. Maybe I'll check Instagram real quick, see if we got one. Okay, and then the most muscular. Man, Derek really drops the ball with this simply because no chest striations, and that's a major focal point. Derek needs to figure out another side, another most muscular. Okay. We're going to go ahead and go through this pose by pose. It's simply, if I were a judge, I would tell you how it is. Okay, you got that front double. So Derek cuts the best outline. But man, I would like to see him a bit more striated like Hadi. I don't think it's just the muscle maturity. He's not going to get it by drying out. He's not going to get it by doing more cardio. He just needs more time. I think his arms are all right. They're full. I like Hadi's more though. They're harder, more separated. Hadi's taper is pretty good. His lats are a bit higher than. Honestly, actually, I wouldn't say they're higher than Derek's. Derek's just appear to be really high because of how much they jut out. The midsection, though, Hadi's not a loser. He's taking second to Samson in the midsection because I love the vacuum, but he's not a loser. And then Samson, I think, is clearly third in this shot. Lower bodies, Samson may... I can't even say he wins. I get a major hunch that this is different in HD. Because the lighting is just taking so much away. But in first, I would put Hadi. Second, I'd put Derek. Third, I'd go with Samson. Does anyone concur? All right. Okay. Speak now, forever hold your peace. Let's go to the front lat spread. This one, I actually think Samson cleans up here. Like I said earlier, he's got the thickness of Hadi in the chest and the pecs, but a better taper than Hadi because his lats are a bit lower, and those legs are just creating a crazy X frame. So I'd put Samson in first on this one. Hadi is in second because Derek is third by default. It's like who said that in the chat? It's like let's see, I can't find it. Whoever said the arms are overpowering the lats, I think that's what it is. They're so full, they just overpower the lats. You can't see the taper. He has a great taper, can't see it. And also the abs from this angle, they don't do anything for me. And then the lack of chest and shoulder details, honestly, kind of distracting. I'd put Derek in third. Josiah Bishop says Hunter Andrew Jack can win. Does that hold any validity? No, absolutely not. Sorry to both of them, and sorry to whoever the fuck Josiah is, but he's fucking wrong. These guys were in the second call out. The second call out ended up being Brandon, Crizzo, Hunter, Andrew. And on the outside was Crizzo and Andrew. They weren't even being compared for top 5. They were more than likely going to be 6th and or 7th, depending, 6th or 7th. It was going to be Brandon and Andrew in the top 5. And they were so far from the top 5 that they didn't get compared to the last call out. So the last call out was only Hadi, Samson, and Derek. So those are your top 3 as of right now. So no, Hunter's going to be like 6th, 5th at best. So no, Hunter is not going to win. Andrew Jack cannot win. He is too incomplete right now. Same goes with Hunter. Even if you don't look at the physiques, even if you go purely by name, they weren't even compared to the top 3. So, okay. Now going to the side chest. I don't think I caught Samson at a very good angle. That being said, his pecs look so great regardless because he has the best pecs in the world. What I like about Hadi, though, is the delt-to-delt thickness is crazy. Like how wide he is. Like Hadi doesn't seem like the widest guy, but from here, the way he's posing, the way he articulates the pose, it looks like a triangle from both points of the shoulder going down. Points, pun not intended. I would probably put Samson in second, though. I really like Hadi. I like Samson, too. I don't know. Maybe you guys can help me out on this one. Who do you guys have in the side chest? I personally would have Hadi. I think Derek is probably in third. I don't know, though. I think all these guys are good. All these guys bring good poses. Okay. If you're going to make me choose, I'm going to come back to this one. I'll choose later. How about that? Because I think the back rear double, Jesus Christ, I think is a clear from Derek to Samson is the order, and I think that's quite apparent. Derek, best back in the world outside of Nick Walker, who unfortunately couldn't compete. Hadi in second. Samson in third. Weakest back. No surprise there. I think in the rear double, I'm going to put Derek again in first. Hadi's closer this time because he's winning the main component of it, width. He has less thickness, though, than Derek, and a weaker lower body. Weaker in terms of condition. It is bigger. Samson, leaving a lot of detail on the table. Not his fault. It's the fault of the poor lighting, but I have a feeling he's still kind of in third. He's no higher than second anyway. Side try, I would actually give this one to Samson. Even with him losing a little bit of detail to the lighting, you can see how thick that tricep is. Yeah. And then these next two guys don't have that good of triceps, but I like Hadi's midsection more. I like Derek's side leg more. I kind of like overall Hadi's pose more. I'll put him in second, but Derek in third. Guys, what's your opinion about Derek? Derek overall, it's not even just like he dropped the ball. I think it's just that he had so much hype going into this. Like, yeah, he did everything. His hype rested on Hadi Chupin being an inactive champion and not improving. But Hadi did the exact opposite. He came better this year. That simply comes down to just better conditioning. I like to see a more conditioned Hadi. I think that's what he's good at. So that's better. That being said, Derek is more improved than Hadi because all Hadi did is really change his conditioning around. But overall, in terms of size gains and just overall better package, Derek wins. But like I said, all of Derek's hype rested on Hadi staying the same, which he didn't. And Derek improved, but that just wasn't enough, I think. It's not over, but that's what I think. And then in the most muscular, because I don't have the abs and thighs, I got to go Derek in last again. It's just, he doesn't command your attention like Samson. Even though Samson's probably less muscular, he's bringing a little bit more roundness and detail. Derek, it's just like something is off about this entire thing. He really needs to. You know what? I may sound like a boomer for saying this. He needs to bring up his calves. I think his quad sweeps are so good. He needs to bring up his calves. Maybe that's what's throwing me off. I definitely think so. And then the chest and the shoulders too just don't have the detail. Samson commands your attention, but Hadi is the most muscular guy on the stage, pound for pound, and it's the most conditioned. He wins this pose, and then Samson in second. And then in the side chest, back to that. Let me check chat first. Okay. Side chest. I mean, this is when judging. Keep in mind that I am one person. Anytime you think of placing these guys, you're just one person. And the thing is, you're on a panel of judges, and these scores get added together. So, in my opinion, if I were a judge, I'm putting Hadi in first. Samson in second. Derek in third. So we'll go ahead and add up all these scores. I'm not going to see if I can find any photos of the abs and thighs. No. Yeah, I'm going to pop. I just came across this picture. I got to pop this up. Just to show you what we got here. Maybe, oh, let's see here. Abs and thighs? Yeah, both of them. Okay. Okay. I want to add a couple photos here. We'll round out this comparison with an abs and thighs from a different angle. And then I just want to show you guys this one picture I just stumbled across. Okay, well that's loading up. Abs and thighs. Derek's vacuum looks great. His abs aren't the best though. And this is the open class. I appreciate the vacuum. I really do. But there's a reason open guys do it. They only do it when they have to. And it's because Derek's abs are weak. Simple as that. Let's see here. I honestly think Samson looks good enough to win. I think it's going to be pretty close between those two once they actually start crunching down. And Samson actually has a good twisting variation. Hottie's clearly in first in the abs and thighs. Like, it's not even close. Look at the oblique. We're not even looking at it from a head-on angle, and it's just clear that he wins. Head to toe, quads, obliques. It's nutty. And then I'd probably put Derek in second, honestly, just because he's a bit more conditioned. And then Samson in third. Okay. And then here's the picture I wanted to show you guys. I mean, Hottie looks incredible. He looks like Mr. Olympia 2 times in a row. Yeah. I'll add up the scores here. Let's see. So 2, we got 5, 6, 7, 10, 12, 15, 17. Okay. Let's see. 10, 16, 17, 20. All right. Just doing a very quick comparison there. Very quick. My scores came out to Hottie in first with 12, Derek in second with 17, and then Samson in third with 20. And if you guys don't know how I do that, I basically just add up, I rank each guy in the pose. So if I think Hottie wins the pose, he gets 1 point. If I think Samson places third in the pose, he gets 3 points. And the guy with the lowest score after I add them all together gets the win. Because, you want the most first place finishes. You want the lowest score because that means you're closer to winning. Okay. So, with that said, Hottie, I think he's going to place first place. I think Derek will get second, and Samson. This is just based on prejudging. We have a whole nother day. We have a whole nother half of the show. Not to mention, we got Classic tomorrow. Men's Physique tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be stacked for men's divisions. This day was a little bit slow with all the women's divisions. No offense, but, we came to see those men's divisions. So with that said, I do think Hottie's going to win. Anything you guys would like to contribute before we head out? Speak now or forever hold your peace. If you guys haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We'll be doing this Olympia coverage all weekend long. So if you guys subscribe, turn on notifications, you'll know exactly when I'm going live. And that's definitely very beneficial because these things never start on time. So even though I may schedule a stream at a certain time, it probably won't be at that time. So turn on notifications to know when I'm actually going live. Okay. I appreciate all you guys coming out. We had a great turnout, actually. This entire stream has over 10K views and 60 likes, honestly. I was happy just to get a few. Chat was a little more active than the first stream. We definitely got a show on our hands. I think Hadi's in the lead, and you guys clearly think he's in the lead. Let's go ahead and end that poll. Anyway, we're ending this stream. 47% of you guys think Hadi Chuban's going to win with 1.5k votes. So that's going to do it for me this time. Make sure you guys subscribe and turn on notifications. I'll be going live tomorrow morning for the Classic Physique and Men's Physique prejudging. I hope to see you guys there. I'll be going live at finals tomorrow night as well. I'll be doing this all types of Olympia coverage. Make sure you guys stay tuned. And with that, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video, next stream, whichever comes first.